Alright, let's talk about these three new characters that we have in the Select Recruit banner. Before everything, I gotta say this is a weird banner for me because first of all, we have like two setters in the same banner. We also had the setter UR Oikawa before them, so it's kind of weird to go for different kind of setters at the moment, but it is what it is. And spoiler alert, I gotta say their memories are better than the characters themselves. So let's just talk about them. Alright, first character Akaashi, I talked about him before with his skill. So removes debuff, increases his awareness and team morale, has a setter dump, and also your next serve will gain 10% additional power, which is good if you have like a good server at the serving spot like Ushijima, or you can use Oikawa at the moment, like two setters, and maybe also Kageyama you can use. Well, Kageyama is also a setter, so just for Ushijima or any other character. And then over here increases awareness by 1.2 whenever you get 4, like for every 4 morale gained in the team morale awakening. So let's just say like 8 touches, and then with each touch you're gonna get 6 of the team morale points, so that's going to be 48, and then obviously you're gonna get more when you score or lose a point or something. So in total it will be at least like 12% at least. And then whenever he performs a crit set, your side's next spike is going to be a guaranteed crit. So super good for Bokuto himself with his ultimate, and also for any other character that does a spike, because it's going to be a crit spike. And then the ultimate is a ultimate set. And for the skill res, the first like the skill res 2 is going to be really good. So 2 dupes. When he's on the court, your team morale will increase by 10 each time the ball crosses the net. So super useful for your whole team. Is going to buff up your whole team. Even if you don't have Bokuto, this is really good. And then the cooldown of the ultimate will reset, and then the skill res 4 with 6 dupe. The set, if the set isn't bad, clears all debuffs from your side's next spiker, and that player's power attack or quick will increase by 4. So even though he's a power attack setter and buffs up the power attack of your team, he's going to buff up your quick attack as well over here with like 6 dupes. So in total, he's super good with Bokuto, yes, but then he's not a must. You don't need Akaashi to maximize Bokuto's skill. If you have UR Oikawa, I talked about this before as well, you're gonna sacrifice your UR Oikawa with higher stats, better skills, like he's super good end game for your whole team, so you have to sacrifice your Oikawa and have Akaashi there. So again, if you have Bokuto, it's good to have Akaashi, yes, he will help him out, but then if you have UR Oikawa, he's also enough and super good for your whole team, also Bokuto as well. And later on when we get different characters, Oikawa is going to be better than Akaashi with different characters. Now let's talk about the 2 Shira teams that we have. So Semi, the second setter that we got, reduces opponent's back row whenever he serves. He's kind of like a server, so like maybe a pinch server, and he scales up with serve. The back row, opponent's back row players receive will be reduced by 13%, and then this will last for 4 net crossings. So super good for his serve, because you're gonna have the opponent's team receive reduced and higher chance to get an ace over there. Performs a set as a setter, and then whenever he serves, his awareness will increase, strength as well. Again, super good for Shira team, because they're going to buff up your awareness and strength and everything, so they're like scaling up by those kind of crit rates. And then has a jump serve, and then whenever he scores with that, players on your side will gain 3% awareness and reflex. Again, super good for Shira team, but then again, he's like a server, just a pinch server, and as a setter he's basically normal. Over here, skill res 2 scores, whenever he scores an ace, the ultimate will reset, super good. And then over here, like with skill res 4, 6 dupes whenever he increases his serve by 50% of his awareness. Wow, that's really nice, because you're gonna get awareness up over here 5%, and with his memory again you're gonna get awareness up. With Shira School Bond you're gonna get awareness up, and over here his serve will increase as well. So a great server, but mainly like a pinch server, and nothing else as a setter, right? Now for the libero, Yamagata, pretty straightforward. He increases his reflex, crit rate for defense, and that's super good as a libero. Has a save over here, and then when the opponent lands a perfect block, his save he's going to gain additional 40% buff on his save. This is weird because, well, you know, if you played the game, obviously, whenever the opponent does a perfect block, you usually lose a point. So I'm not sure how useful this is. We gotta try this out later on. And then the ultimate is going to be an ultimate receive, which is higher than Nishinoya. Nishinoya is 220, and I think Yaku is 240. So ultimate receive for the libero. And then skill res 2, whenever he's present, increases your size. Back row players receive by 10%. Pretty good for a libero, obviously. And then the ultimate cooldown will get reduced. So skill res 2, super useful for Yamagata. That's the idea for getting dupes. And yeah, that's the whole thing for the characters themselves. Before I give my final thoughts, let's just check their bonds and memories. That I said the memory is way better than the characters. So for the bond of Shira team, Semi has a bond with Shirabu, like 2 setters. That's weird. And the weirder part is over here, Shirabu's serve will increase, which is not useful, and Semi's set will increase. So it should be the opposite to buff them up more. And then over here, we have these bond with all these 5 characters, which is really good, even though it doesn't give any additional buffs to Yoshijima, but it's super good for other characters because it's going to buff up their main stats. So Tendo is going to be block, Semi is going to be serve, Ohira power attack, and Yamagata receive. So super useful, like the best buffs for themselves. That's why this is a really good bond. And then yeah, that's it for the Shira team. Fukurodani team, Akaashi obviously has a bond with Bokuto, which we talked about over here, like a new skill, increased power attack of Bokuto, increased team morale, and also removes the down mode of Bokuto. So super great and useful for Bokuto himself, both of them together. And we also have this one. If you have UR Kuro, everyone already has Tsukishima, is going to increase the serve of Bokuto and Akashi's set. Again, good for a setter, and also if Bokuto serves, is going to be useful over there as well. Now let's talk about their memories. As I said, they're really good. So 2 setter memories. Akaashi increases his set, and also when you're in the Team Morale Awakening, when the equipper sets, the spiker restores 4 stamina. So really good and useful for your spikers. Gains 8% attack technique as well. So attack technique is going to be all of the attack ones. It's going to be the set, the serve, and say the power attack or quick attack. And then when the equipper clears a debuff, it also removes the target's down mode debuff. So one thing you need to know is that this memory is going to be useful for Atsumo Miya as well. Obviously you want to go for Atsumo Miya's memory, UR memory, but then if you, for any reason you can't summon, or if you don't have the tickets for the UR memory, this could also be useful for him because he has a skill to clear debuff, and then you can pair him up with Bokuto to remove the down mode as well. And then we have Semi's memory set, increases awareness, and then when equipper casts a serve ultimate, increases their serve stat by 3.2 up to 3 stacks. So this is a really good memory for a setter that has a serve ultimate for himself, or even for Oikawa. So if you don't have Oikawa's memory, you can definitely summon for this memory and put this on your Oikawa, because he scales up with awareness, and also more importantly he has a serve ultimate that this could help him out a lot. So that's something good to know. And we'll go to the Libero's memory. Yamagata increases receive by 10 and reflex by 6 when casting and receive ultimate. So mainly your Liberos are going to have receive ultimate. So this is going to be a universal memory for any kind of Liberos, and super good, useful, because it's increasing receive and reflex, anything you need to have for a Libero. That's why the memories are really good for themselves and for different characters. And that's the reason I'm saying like the memories could be better than the characters themselves. So final thoughts, obviously go for the memories, especially the ones that you are missing at the moment, like you are Oikawa's memory. If you don't have it, go for Semi's memory, and Yamagata's memory as a Libero is really good if you don't have any Libero memories, and Akaashi's memory is useful for himself definitely, and also for Miyatsumo later on if you don't have a chance to get the Miyatsumo's memory. And for the characters themselves, if you have Bokuto, it's, you know, it's always good to have Akaashi for this duo over here, but then you can still use Oikawa for Bokuto. And then Shira team, obviously you want to go for the Shira school bond, so it depends on the characters that you are missing. So if you have Yoshijima, if you have Tendo, if you got Ohira for example, then you still need one more character. Libero would be a really good one to replace instead of Nishinoya, so you'll get the full school bond buff for the Shira team, and then you can use Oikawa as a setter that will, you know, help the Shira team as well. If not, then you're gonna change the lineup with different characters, so it totally depends on your team itself, what kind of characters you have and what characters you're missing. So I can't say like go for this, go for that, because it depends on your team. Write down in the comment section if you have any questions, write down your team lineup so I can give you, you know, like more detailed ideas of which character is going to be the best for you. But then again, you can go Shira team and then with these two as well, or just Shira team and then with Oikawa and another like 2 wing spikers from here, or like Iwazumi as a wing spiker and 1 from here, and like middle blocker Libero. So Shira team is going to be super useful at the moment. The current meta I think will definitely be Shira team at the moment till we get other characters of other schools later on. And yeah, that's the whole thing. Hope this video was helpful. Let me know down in the comment section what are your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, have fun and stay tuned.